Hey guys, and in this video I'm going to show you another batch of the Explorer Notes. This is the area we're at right now. I'm going to cover that island north of us, or that part of the island, and Herbivore Island south, which is where we start. That's Herbivore Island, just the rough coordinates I'm at. Southeast of the map. So Herbivore Island is technically 3 islands. It's the big one, and there's 2 in the front, facing the mainland. We want to head towards the left one. I've already opened this one accidentally, because I did a test run and did that. It's the Hyaenodon Dossier at 80.9 by 81.8. From here we can take the next note quite easily. Fly towards the mainland. There's a cluster of rocks at this end, and the other one, but we're going to focus on this one. And you want to head up the sort of, what you can call it, sort of thing, sandbank. And there's one rock in the middle of this little palmy, bushy area. It's the only rock on this entire side. And right next to it there's another note. Quite a lot of dinosaurs here, so sorry about that. Opened this one accidentally too. This is the Hesperornis Dossier at 81.6 by 84.1. For the final note, we're going to head more inland. This is called Herbivore Island because there's just herbivores here, so you don't need to worry about getting attacked. So you want to head into this sort of, I don't know what you can call it, beach area at the end of the bay. Then you want to head to the left on top of this cliff. So it's a bit hard to find this one, but you can see where I'm at. So there's a cluster of rocks here, sort of at the right side. And you can see there is another few rocks further inland. And among those, you'll find the next note. So when you come up from the cliff here, you can see there is the rocks over there, and then these rocks. And then there is another note. This is the Megalania Dossier at 84.4 by 84.1. For the next notes, so we're done with Herbivore Island, we're going to head to the mainland. Just the rough coordinates I'm at. Herbivore Island is behind us. And along this cliff on the beach, you will find another note. You kind of just need to search among the rocks here, and you will see this ruin. It's kind of hard to explain this one. You kind of just need to, I guess, see it. I guess one indication could be these rocks out in the water. At least I believe they're rocks. Might be... No, yeah, those are rocks. And roughly in from those, like inland, just with those rocks behind you, you can take a look to the right and you'll see these. Easy to take in a safe area. It's the Stegosaurus Dossier at 78.3 by 79. So for the next few notes, we're going to head into the jungle. So it's a bit less safe, but they're still close to the beach. So that's the cliff that we are at. It's Herbivore Island. You want to head to the head to the end of this cliff side, where you see it kind of starts to go into the jungle. And from the end of the cliff, just walk into the jungle directly, and you should see a ruin on your left. The cliff behind us, it is in the edge of the forest. It is easy to spot. Right there, it's a pretty big ruin. And this is Helena Note number 6 at 77.2 by 76.3. And from here, there is another note very close. Line yourself up with the wall, aka just go back to the cliff. And you want to follow this cliff very close. Follow it up the side here. Then there's a little kind of drop here with another note on it. Helena Note number 17 at 76.8 by 77.2. Next, we're kind of heading into the deep jungle. There's the note behind us. So you want to walk here, like out, and you can see there's actually kind of a path going here. Down to the beach, that way, and into this dark jungle, and you want to follow this path. Remember to kind of keep an eye out for the cliff. Right now it's a bit difficult to show exactly where you want to go, but you kind of just want to keep forward. You can kind of see the path going underneath here. Walk forward until you get again into the jungle. You can also see there's a cliff forming here on the right. Follow this cliff. Keep watching out for your left. And there's a tower, sort of, or a pillar, with the Achatina dossier on it. Bit hard to describe this one, but hopefully you got it all right. 75.7 by 78.1. So from this note, follow the cliff. Actually, just go further into the jungle with the cliff on your right. I can brighten up the game artificially. I didn't really think about doing that first. But brightening it up and it'll be easier to see for you guys. I'm really tired. My voice has changed since last time, I think. It's more calm. Anyways, continue with the cliff on your right. Then you see this big rock, and you can see you can actually walk kind of up the cliff there. It kind of came to an end, if you can call that a cliff. And then you can see there's a cliff on your left. Follow that. And it leads you to another ruin. Hopefully those raptors won't aggro on me. That's the Troodon dossier at 74.9 by 78.8. Just to use this as an indicator from this one to find the final note in this area, you want to just head sort of out of the jungle. So that's the deep jungle behind us. Head back to sort of the first cliff that we followed, and you can see there's this way you can walk up here. You're gonna walk up, and that leads you directly to this. So we can put the... Actually, that is pretty dark. We can keep the brightness on. It leads you up to the sort of jungle edge. It's sort of a little plain type area, and it's a pretty big ruin here. You just gotta search the ruin, and there's a note here. This is the Spino dossier, 75.7 by 79.8. For the next note, we're gonna head to this general area. So we were over there, now we are down here at this sort of river, start of this river here. So that's Herbivore Island. And you want to follow this cliff. So you can see this cliff forming. It is kind of this bumpy, rough part here. And next to that, there is a ruin on the cliff. It's pretty easy to see. So we're going to land. And here we got Rockwell number 23 at 75.4 by 73.9. The next one is a bit tricky to find because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I'm going to try my best to guide you guys. It is basically kind of line yourself up with this ruin and go kind of directly into the jungle. You will see that there is this path forming here. And then you kind of just want to follow that to the right. And it is another sort of split here. And then you can see the ruin in the front. It's a pretty big ruin, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It is Rockwell number 26 at 75.7 by 75.5. If we're going to use this note as the next marker, which you don't really need, but right next to that note, you can see that there is a cliff or a little kind of steep edge here. When you reach that, I'm going to get a time. Oh wait, it's scared of me. Okay, so that's just the rough coordinates here. You want to follow that to the left. Follow this cliff to the left. You can see that the terrain opens up here. There's no brontos or anything, so this is how open it is naturally. Opens up, you're walking towards the green obelisk. And you can see that if you follow this cliff long enough, it will eventually guide you to another note. You can see it sort of almost starts to go kind of downhill from here. Guess that could be an indicator. This is the Ovis Dossier, 73.3 by 74.1. So for the final note, it's a bit difficult to find, but we're going to head up to the top of the island sort of mountain. So if I fly up here, you can see how it is sort of a mountaintop or a hilltop, and you want to head to the top of that. You see every side goes down from here. So when you look down sort of towards the green obelisk type, no, that's a drop. When you look, or towards the bay, if you open your map and you can see the bay, or yeah, see that forest line in the back, there is a big rock down the side of it. And you can also see that the jungle kind of opens up more on this side than it does on this side. And you want to head towards that big rock. And you can see there that right left of it, there is a note. It's in the middle of the jungle, kind of hard to explain, but hopefully that was a decent explanation. It's the Procoptodon Dossier at 72.3 by 78.1. Next is another note that's kind of randomly placed. Now we're out of the jungle, and we're at the end of the sort of bay region. Just the rough coordinates right here. Kind of at the end here. So you can see that there is a river delta type thing forming here. Towards, I think that's the red obelisk actually. Yeah, towards the red obelisk and the green obelisk up here. And you can see that there's a cliff forming. So from here it's a cliff forming. And at this cliff, you don't want to go further than this. You can see that there are two rocks there. You can line yourself up with these two naturally formed, kind of more rough kind of cliff sides. And you can see on top there's two sort of mossy rocks. Line yourself up roughly at the middle of those. You can see they're roughly one on either side, same distance away from each. Head into the jungle directly, and that will lead you to this little square pillar. Or, yeah, brick part thing. And there is a note. This is the Pteranodon Dossier at 66.9 by 76. Let me do that again. 66.9 by 76.7. So for this next note, we're going to head to this area. Herbivore Island is there. We are here at the map, this sort of peninsula thing at the end here. This is also where you'll find one of the caves, but I will cover the notes we find in caves in a separate video. But we're going to head to this area, and you will kind of walk on top of this. So you have the cliffs and the beach. You want to walk on top of this grassy part. There's an Alpha Rex here, so be a bit careful if you encounter one. You can kind of head up this road here, I guess. Might get attacked, but just look to your left from this area. You just here, and you'll see a very big ruin. Easy to find. There's a Nerva Note here. Nerva Note number 13 at 69.5 by 84.5. So for the final note, head to this area. It's a bit bright. There we go. It's still a bit dark in-game with the normal light. Actually, that's fine. So you want to be roughly at these coordinates. A very distinctive feature here is this very big sort of... I don't even know what you call this, but this sort of formation here. Almost like a flat highway with steep cliffs on all sides. So you want to get to this area. You can see there is sort of a T-section. 3 ways sticking out, one there, and one leading to the beach. And you similarly have these very rough cliff areas here towards the jungle, green obelisk. And between, at the first one, you can see there's a cliff on top of it in the jungle here. So just follow that cliff into the jungle, which leads you to this ruin. And that's Helena Note number 8 at 61.2 by 81.5. And that was all the notes I'm going to cover in this video. As you can see, it was a lot of dense, it was a very dense area of notes in the south, and very spread out thin in the north of the island. Next time I will cover the north here. Hope this video was helpful. I hope maybe you will consider subscribing, liking the video, and possibly leaving a comment for something you might want to see me doing in the future. I'm open for suggestions, and enough said. Thank you for watching. See you later.